Hello and Happy New Year. This is Christopher Aaron. It is January 10th, 2025. I hope you are doing well. It is time for a silver price alert. You've got to be aware of what is happening with the price action. The most important thing in any market is what happens to the price. So that is what we are going to focus on here in the silver market. I want to let you know really quickly, I'm going to be speaking live in person coming up in a week and a half at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, Sunday, January 19th at 2:20 in the afternoon. That is going to be a workshop with Don Durrett and Jesse Day, stocks that I love right now. Gold and silver mining companies that I am investing in that I have never mentioned here. And then on Monday, January 20th at 1:40 in the afternoon, I'm hosting a workshop. This is going to be a keynote presentation. I'm going to be covering topics that I have never discussed here on this YouTube channel related to the precious metals. So if you can get there to the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference coming up Sunday, January 19th, Monday, January 20th. I hope to meet you. Come up and say hi after the talks, and I would love to sit down and speak with you for a few minutes. I will see you there. Let's get into this update on the silver price action, our legal disclaimer first. Thank you. And now let's bring up the chart. So here's what we have been studying for the last number of months. Here was the important breakout back in early 2024 from this multi-year downward trend. You can see here, right here in the thick blue, the royal blue color. Look at this downward trend going back from 2020. Here was the breakout higher from that. That put the silver market in this rising pattern. It was taking the shape of a wedge triangle, this rising pattern. Now, unfortunately, over the holiday-shortened weeks, and we always have to be careful about these holiday-shortened weeks because certain nefarious entities try to manipulate the markets in these weeks because there are very few traders at their desks, myself included. For example, I went away for a week over the holidays. This happens around the world, and so sometimes you have these entities. You can see right here what they did is they shoved the silver price down below $30.70. That was the lower boundary of this rising green pattern that you can see here. And what they did is they triggered a break of this pattern. So the pattern is no longer considered valid unless the market can get back above this key figure, which is now $30.70. Now, the other interesting thing that they did when we zoom it in here to the short run, you can see here that there was a head and shoulders pattern right here. Notice this shape, the left shoulder, a more pronounced head, and a right shoulder. This is simply a phrase that we give to these patterns that appear in the financial markets over and over again throughout history. This one roughly takes the resemblance of a human silhouette, the head and shoulders pattern. And then we saw over the holiday shortened weeks right here, boom, they triggered that pattern. So they broke the larger pattern and the more short-term head and shoulders pattern all in the same period of time here within a couple days. So this is why we have to be very careful of these holiday weeks, because some of those entities try to use the thin trading to really paint the charts and manipulate these markets. Now, the good thing is for silver that over the short run, we see here that silver has recovered from the neckline or the breakdown point of this head and shoulders pattern. And that is very good to see. By closing back above $30 here, Friday, January 10th, that is very good to see, because if that had held, we would have had a lower target all the way down here at $24.45. So the fact that that was recovered, we can eliminate that lower target, that lower scenario as far as a short-term look for silver. So that is good to see. Let's bring it now, therefore, back into the longer-term perspective. And I still want to come back to this $30.70. So it's good to see that the silver market has shown the strength to negate that head and shoulders pattern. However, we still need to see more strength here to recover the rising wedge pattern that had been going on for basically the better part of the last year and a half. So there's still more work to do. Silver is looking good here over the last couple of weeks. It's good to see that it has recovered some of that holiday-induced selling that took place over Christmas and the New Year's holidays. Good to see. But we still have more work that silver needs to do to show me that it is back in the rising pattern that had been going on from 2023. So if it can do that, if it can recover $30.70 on a weekly basis, we are back into the rising pattern, which would be very, very bullish for silver for the rest of 2025. We could very well see silver get back up to the low to mid 40s. And I think from there, it could very easily make that next test of the $50 mark later this year. So that's if $30.70 is recovered. I like to take this market in steps. If that level is recovered, then we have the bullish expectation. If, however, silver fails to recover $30.70, then we have a more consolidative type of price expectation. I wouldn't be surprised to see silver need to consolidate for the rest of 2025, maybe come back and test this longer-term rising trend out of the coronavirus lows tested here in 2022 and 23 before having a chance to advance again later in 2025 or 2026. So $30.70 is the key level that we are watching now, next week, after the inauguration of President Trump, January 20th, after the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, which is also coming up January 19th and 20th in Vancouver, British Columbia. Make sure to watch that if you have the opportunity. We're watching, there's all these major events going on. Of course, there's another Federal Reserve meeting coming up within the next couple of weeks. All these potential trigger levels, and it really comes down to, can silver recover this $30.70 level to give us the more bullish outlook or the more consolidative outlook over the next year to year and a half. That is where we are on the silver market. If you would like to receive more frequent updates than what you get here on YouTube, you should know that I publish every single week for our premium subscribers. We cover not only physical silver, but also physical gold and the exact gold and silver mining companies that we are investing in here. The service for you is called Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. We produce weekly videos. They are much longer and more in-depth than what you are seeing here right now. If you're heavily invested in the precious metal sector, like if you have anywhere between 50 to 100% of your net worth in precious metals, I cannot fathom being uninformed about the price levels that the market is keying on. And that is what we cover here for you in Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. If you are a higher net worth investor, our premium service is called Elite Private Placements. And in this service, we invest in gold, silver, uranium, copper mining companies, and we do it at better terms than we are able to get here in Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. The reason is that we invest in private placements. And private placements get us the same shares, but at better terms, because we negotiate discounts with the gold and silver companies, and we also get free warrants with every investment that we are making. You also get a free subscription to Precious Metals Intelligence Plus if you choose to join us here in the in the elite service. So you will not miss out on any of the flash updates or any of the weekly updates that we publish if you join us in the elite service. If you would like to sit down and discuss your situation with myself, Christopher Aaron, one-on-one, know that you can book a consultation right on our website. You can see the available time slots and book it. And what I do is I take the information that you're seeing here and I tailor it to your unique situation, but always from the perspective of someone that does not sell the precious metals. So if I think you are overexposed, if you're getting closer to your retirement years and you're heavily exposed to the precious metals or to particular gold and silver mining companies that I don't like, I have no problem telling you that because I look out for individual investors. If you're just starting your investment career and you're wondering what are the proper ways to get diversified leverage to the precious metals theme, I work with individuals such as yourself as well, and we can create a tailored portfolio. What would I do if I was in your situation? And we can make it for your exact scenario. So know that you can reach me on the consultations tab. I look forward to working with you individually or meeting you if you are going to come out to Vancouver, British Columbia for the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. That is in a week and a half, January 19th and 20th. I will be speaking both days, and I look forward to seeing you there.